Welcome. My name is Motherland, and let's get into this Scorpio Ophichus full moon energy. Now, I know you're probably thinking, like, wait a minute, Ophichus? Ophichus is one of those constellations that just does not get enough credit. And I'm going to tell you why it should get credit. As we go through this video, you're gonna see why Ophiuchus constellation it should be acknowledged. So, as we know, the sun is in Taurus, and I talked about that in the previous video from the last moon, and I'll put the link. I'll put the link up for you guys to check out the last video. So, we know about the sun in Taurus. Let's talk about the messages that I was getting during this full moon. Now, for me, the energy started hitting me in the Libra energy. So when the moon was in the Libra constellation, I was starting to feel the energy of the full moon. And so I started I started getting these downloads on, what was going on. So what I was picking up with the Libra energy, I was picking up um, alignment, clarity, knowing your limits, honoring your boundaries, community, partnership. And one of the words that came to me and that what I saw come up for Libra was idealistic. And so I started looking up the meaning of what idealistic really was. And what stuck out to me and what I found was basing your decisions on lofty principles rather than practical realities. And that definition just stuck out to me. And I was just like, It made me really question. I sat and I was like, where am I doing this in my life? So my question for you is, where are you doing this in your life? Where are you not being practical at? Because the sun in Taurus talks about practicality, being grounded. So I said, okay, Taurus sun, come through and really shine the light on where I'm doing this at. And so the moon started to move into Scorpio. And I know when the moon goes into Scorpio, I'm like, hold on. It's getting ready to really reveal some things. It's going to reveal it. So with the sun and the moon in Scorpio, I'm going to talk about some of the light and dark attributes of Scorpio energy. So, the light attributes of the Scorpio energy is transformative, passionate. I think this is a good trait, secretive, because there's some things you need to be, secretive about. You need to keep to yourself. I think that can be a positive. That can be a dark or a light trait, depending on how you want to look at it. But I thought that was a good one. Thorough and regenerative, excuse me, and deep. So I love those attributes, those light sides of Scorpio. Now the darker aspects of Scorpio for me would be, I could say secretive, because some things you should share. Obsessive, compulsive, destructive, and manipulative. So when I started thinking about when the moon was moving into Scorpio from Libra, I said, where is Scorpio getting ready to shine this light for me in my idealistic ways? And I said, okay, I'm ready. I'm ready. It seemed like I was knocking on Scorpio's door saying, "Hey, I'm ready." Because the energy of Scorpio is lifting the veil. It's exposing what is hidden. That that unknown energy, but it's like it's an unknown energy, but you kind of know it's there. And I think it's one of those energies where you may not want to admit to yourself, and there goes that aloof thinking with Libra energy. It's the Scorpio energy is getting to the root of things. It's Scorpio energy is like the mirroring. So if things in your life are mirroring back to you, people, places, or things, and you may not necessarily like that, pay attention to that, because that Scorpio energy is trying to tell you something. It is trying to tell you about yourself. So, as I said in this Scorpio energy, I just said, okay, what is manipulating me? And my question to you is, what is manipulating you? Scorpio energy is like, hey, let's go ahead and let's figure that out. Let's get to the root of the situation, right? And so again, I started reflecting back to the Libra energy, because one of the characteristics of Libra energy is people pleasing. And I said, okay, no wonder Libra energy was standing out to me. Why I was feeling this full moon energy coming into Libra energy. And I said, people pleasing. Okay. So for me, that is something that I definitely struggle with, and has gotten better over time, but there's still certain things that I can definitely work on. And so I said, okay, hey, people pleasing. And so if you deal with people pleasing, this is going to be a video for you. Okay? Because for some of us, this people pleasing energy has gotten out of control. Again, it was like that unknown energy, but known energy. It was an energy that really was like, it's like it was a scary energy to deal with, because it's because of basing our identities with people pleasing energy, and having to literally transform that energy and find more balance when it comes to interacting with people. And so this people pleasing energy, as I sat with it, for some of us, it definitely comes from childhood. It is a root problem that's been going on since childhood. And also, I'm hearing generational trauma. So this is something that's been going on for generations and generations. And so now it's like, hey, it's time to stop this, because it's gotten so much out of control that now it is affecting, for some people, it's affecting the body. So for me, when sickness comes into the body, it is clearly telling you that something is wrong emotionally. There is something emotionally out of balance when it shows up in the body. So in this particular energy, this is about people pleasing. So for some of us, it's showing up in the body. And where it's showing up in the body is around the root chakra and the sacral chakra. So that's going to be from the pelvis area down to the feet, and to the pelvis area to close to like the stomach area, the lower stomach. And so that whole area is dealing with stability, it's dealing with relationships. And so really finding that stability within your own relationship with self and your relationship with others. Where are your boundaries working against you? Where are there not enough boundaries? Where are you over nurturing? That is the question to be answered. So this is me sitting in Scorpio energy thinking about this. And then the moon moved into Ophichus. Now Ophichus, it is the energy for me, it represents the healer, shadow work, transformative like Scorpio energy, evolving, following the instructions of your soul. That I heard that and I said, "Oh my gosh." Yeah. Because again, when I say that when sickness goes happens within the body, it's because of us rejecting what it is that we need to really be doing. Rejecting the healing. So also with Ophichus energy, it's redemption. You having the power to free yourself. Having the power to free yourself. That's huge. Finding the antidote to be your complete self. Hidden, in-depth characteristics that I feel like those hidden, in-depth characteristics of yourself that have been rejected by others that cause you to people please have to be addressed in that Ophichus energy, or using that Ophichus energy. Ophichus energy makes you see where you're trying to fit in, where that people pleasing comes in, where you can be your complete self. I love that. So some of the light and dark aspects of Ophichus. The light aspects is having an understanding of emotional and physical healing. So really having knowledge on that, knowing how to do that. Being able to transform within and create profound change and with others. Having a strong intuition. And so some of the darker aspects of Ophichus is lack of boundaries. I feel like easily being overwhelmed with feelings of healing and transformation, and focusing too much on change and neglecting the present. And I want to give a shout out to the Shadow Project by Tara Kabatoff. I hope I said your last name right, but she was the one I went to her channel and I learned a lot about Ophichus through her video. So if you guys want to learn a little bit more, go check out the Shadow Project by Tara Kabatoff, and she goes a little bit deeper into Ophichus energy. What I will say about Ophichus energy, it is time to address the compulsiveness. Well, I'll say it's time to with Ophiuchus and Scorpio. With Scorpio and Ophiuchus energy, it is time to address the compulsiveness it's had over you, people pleasing, how what it's done for you, the destruction that it has caused, and the manipulation it is bringing into your life. So just really seeing where that aspect in your life is really causing um, a blockage and also causing sickness within your body. So let's pull a couple of cards for this Scorpio Ophiuchus energy. All right. So the first card we have is empathy. I am open to seeing both sides of a situation. So I feel like going again that Libra energy of people pleasing energy, but just people pleasing in general. Um, really being able to have a balance when it comes to empathy. You know, really just have a balance within that. Because sometimes with empathy, it can be over nurturing and not giving yourself the space and time to process what's going on in a particular situation. Excuse me. And that's one aspect. But the other aspect is being able to see the other side of a situation. When I think about Scorpio and Ophiuchus energy, it's all about evolving, transforming, you know, and I just feel like it's got to be a good balance of it. It's got to be a good balance of empathy in order to really create the transformation, really seeing it in the physical aspect of life. Worry. The next card is worry. I am learning that worry doesn't change an outcome. So I don't know if some of y'all are dealing with worrying about something, about a particular situation, worrying about it. Um, Spirit is really saying no, don't worry about it because it's not going to change the outcome. What's going to change the outcome is actually putting in the work of having balanced empathy. The next card is relationships. I am attracted to those people who serve my higher good. So I feel like with attracting people that are for your highest good, you have to have balance within empathy. You can't be in people pleasing energy and expect to have high vibrating people around you. That's just simple as it is. That's what's gonna cut the worry with with understanding that when balancing your empathy and not going into people pleasing, but also not going into an energy of not wanting to hear the other side of a situation, when you have balance within that, you're going to keep attracting people that are going to be for your highest good, because you're working out of your highest good for sure. I like that. The next card is grief. I understand that losing something is an opportunity to appreciate it. So for some of you, there could have been a situation where somebody has left your life, um, or certain relationships have um, maybe evolved differently, and it's caused some grief in your life. But I feel like this grief here is saying, giving you an opportunity to appreciate it. So it brought you a lesson, whatever it was, and whatever role that certain people, places, things, and perspectives brought into your life, and they have evolved elsewhere, whether they're evolving with you as being a higher relationship, a relationship that's going to be for your highest good, or maybe not. It's all for a good reason. It has taught you. And I think the ones that where it says losing, so if a relationship is completely gone, it probably taught you how to have empathy, how to actually exercise empathy in a balanced way. So I think this grief, yeah, it may hurt right now, but it's working in your favor, because it really taught you how to how to use empathy properly, so that you can keep attracting people for your highest good in your life. And so the next card is abundance. I am a limitless being, and I can manifest whatever I desire in this physical reality. So I love this card because it reminds me of Taurus energy. This is the manifestation, the ripeness. This is what we're manifesting here. We're manifesting these relationships for our highest good. And the only way that we can get this abundance within our life, these relationships within our life, is practicing good empathy. So being balanced, using that Libra energy and being balanced within our empathy, so that we can manifest these relationships within our lives. I love that. The next card I have is envy. I am the same as everybody, but with different challenges. And so I feel like with envy, that goes hand in hand with empathy. It goes hand in hand with empathy. So I feel like really being able, again, this is being able to see both sides of a situation and understand that just like ourselves, within yourself, you have challenges, so do other people. And I also would like to see another perspective of this too, is envy energy. So I feel like there could be envious energy around you, and being able to be balanced within your empathy about this envious energy that could be around you. For some, it's going to be trying to understand it, and be balanced about it, and being guided by your higher self on how to handle that situation. But that is a message I see. Our last card is trust. I accept that my inner voice will always guide me correctly. And I was just saying that, trusting your higher self to guide you in this energy, so that you can definitely manifest these relationships for your higher self. I feel like I also feel this big energy of that certain relationships are transforming. They are transforming with the Scorpio Ophichus energy. And where I feel like maybe there was energy of envious energy around you, Some people could be transforming that energy, or you recognizing what that energy is and acting accordingly to what needs to be done. But the major part is trusting your higher self on how to go about it, and not fall into people pleasing, trying to convince somebody to like you, fit in or whatnot, or creating boundaries. And that's a big one. Like I said, people pleasing, creating those boundaries when you see certain characteristics within people, places, and things and perspectives, even within your own self. Creating those boundaries so that you can manifest what it is that you truly desire. And what you truly desire is to have people around you that are for your highest good. But you're going to have to put in the work with this Scorpio Ophichus energy to really find balance on how to protect yourself from people pleasing. So, I think that's a beautiful reading. That Scorpio Ophichus full moon energy is phenomenal. I love it. I'm a fan of it. I've been basking in it. Um, so I hope you guys have been enjoying it. And so that's all I have for you guys. I hope you guys enjoy this Scorpio Ophichus full moon energy, and I'll see you for the next one.